Hi. Give me a second to find this feed. Good morning. I'm gonna do this feed today. Tomorrow, instead of going live in this space, I'll be live in our Awakening to Ascension space. I'll wait till a few more people are on here though before I start talking. Good morning. I'm just waking up here. I'm waiting for viewers. So I'm gonna type hey before I get started. Hi Sherry. I was like, no one's here. But you know, I would share this in my Reiki group and other areas, but when I do, it just says attachment unavailable, or I would just share it. But when we tried that the other day with the meditation, it didn't work so hot. But I prefer to keep the group areas, the class, more like class spaces, so people can't see what we're posting and commenting. So that's why I have these spaces closed, so people can't see. They can't see our posts or whatever. If you open up a space, you can really see a lot of the group. So I like to keep these private areas, so I'm okay with it. Good morning, awesome. I have a lot to talk about. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do our class video on grounding in the root chakra. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, and that's a good chakra for me, because I had to learn how to stay real grounded, and I'm probably the most ungrounded person you'll ever meet if you know me. I'm always in the upper chakras, mainly the third eye. I like that floaty, ungrounded feeling too, especially when I'm in these kind of space storms and things like that. So, you know, if you're living in America, you're probably working on your root chakra in some capacity. I said the universe thought I mastered it enough to move to the UK on some level, so that was a chakra that I spent a lot of my lifetime working on. We'll do the root chakra tomorrow. I am talking about pole shifts here. I'm bringing this back up, and I really am having a hard time even talking to people about my reality lately. I feel like more and more. So my husband comes inside this morning and he says that there's one star in the sky, and before he could even finish, I'm like, it's a spaceship. And I'm like telling him about it, right? So he can grasp that, and clearly he's okay with the idea of a spaceship in the sky. But when I talk about things like people on this planet being relocated via spaceship, pole shifts, and other type of things, people think I'm completely out of my mind. May I remind you guys that we actually saw the last pole shift. It's really weird because first I have so much to cover right now, but it's a really good energy to connect extraterrestrial today. There's a lot of galactic energies on the planet. Maybe some of you guys are looking up and seeing those ships that are back or whatever. So I'm really like downloading this morning, doing my usual getting distracted. I should be downloading for my videos, getting distracted this morning. And, you know, I think it's important in my journey to understand that I am here right now at the completion of a cycle. The last time that I lived on this planet, I was here again for the beginning of the cycle and the last cycle completion. So, you know, I don't always incarnate into this planet. I come here to assist in some way. And, you know, I think that we can all agree that, you know, things are changing around here and that this cycle is coming to a completion. People think this is so far-fetched. Harry said on a Reiki wall, I mean, these people have been talking about pole shifts for like 20 years. Come on. Nothing's changed, he said. Well, I'm seeing it's changing in front of me. I'm kind of watching as this stuff's unfolding around me. And there actually is a lot of new development with this stuff that I'm seeing, per se. Alright. The Earth is a living entity. Not only are humans putting out an overwhelming call for assistance on this planet, but the Earth is too. There's a lot of people sick. It's almost like you could describe it like the Earth has a fever right now. and that there's a lot of, you know, people are sick on this planet right now, and the earth is a spiritual entity. When I was downloading on this subject this morning, I get shown it like a bunch of staircases everywhere. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what movie they would have shown something like that. A bunch of staircases everywhere, right? And we're always kind of meeting each other and colliding, right? This huge time continuum. Well, some of those staircases are going to need to collapse. Not the ones that we're on. But I think that we can all agree there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here, and I really feel like there's going to be some ultimate event, something to happen that will kind of finalize what we're doing with this ascension on some level. So when I talk about these things, sometimes I get the fear back, and that's not where we should be at. We should see that anything that is unfolding is serving us and our ascension and the planet. I think the people that are afraid of their lives falling in, their egoic fantasies falling in, their realities falling in. But this is really, you know, where we take into account the future of humanity and where we're headed. Good morning. Look up. Your star family is back. They are communicating with you and sending you downloads. Get outside. Get outside. Go connect with nature. Okay, so now moving along. I think we're done with the pole shift talk, but I'm not taking it off the table. I'm not taking, if things go kind of crazy here, that we could get extraterrestrial relocated either. I'm really not taking that off the table. It keeps kind of coming back up as possible scenarios. Alright. So we have a blood moon. I put a cute little, I didn't read it, but I saw the headline. It was like end of the world with this blood moon. This blood moon is a message for the elite. I'm going to have to do a little video just for the elite. This is to the government. I'm going to have to make a special little video too at some point this week before the blood moon. This is a message for the government. That blood moon is for you. It is a warning. In ancient times, blood moons were seen as omens that a king's reign was over. Those are for the world kings, they say, right? The world leaders. Those are for the people leading humanity at this current moment. It is a sign to show that their time has come to an end. So I really love this blood moon, because a lot of people had this Armageddon, end times kind of programming going through the matrix. And, you know, those are the kind of things that get through to people. Biblical prophecies. I said we're living in a time where there's a prophecy every single week. There's like a prophecy every month, right? Every time there's a blood moon, there'll be a blue moon. Some kind of prophecy comes about. Usually Christian. Alright. Nothing ends. Nothing dies for the people afraid of anything gonna occur. Nothing dies. Nothing ever ends. We're energy, infinite energy. So, the universe wants to create something new right now, okay? It's just sick of the same old prison planet routine. It wants to expand and explore and do new things. So, we have to understand that there's always this rebirth out of anything destructive, right? That kind of stuff isn't really phasing us. It's just kind of moving this ascension forward, giving people the lessons that they need to move forward. On some level, we need to understand that everything is infinite energy, and it just wants to get out of that box right now and kind of create something new. So it's very important this year that we're really focused on manifesting. We have this entire universe around us just wanting to kind of unlimit us and push us to explore bigger. This year will be a time to come back to I guess they call it self-realization. I don't know, I didn't pay attention in college. They talk about that in psychology and stuff, right? Self-realization, becoming aware that you are the creator, you are the universe in its form. There's a lot of separation going on, but underneath it all, with this consciousness, there's only one. One of us, one of everything, right? So I see a lot of fear, like on the Reiki wall, where, you know, as we're purging this year, some heavy shit might come up. Might pop into your reality for you to clear, to let go of whatever it is, right? But it's really important people let go of fear. There's so much fear on this planet. Collective fear. It's almost like a parasite being kind of, you know, unleashed into that one subconscious, and so I could be over here and be feeling it, right? It's almost like kind of getting released throughout this matrix, this fear programming. We need to step past that. because there's so much fear of what's going on here, not understanding how that affects our frequency, and how fear is dangerous and a manifest reality. We're learning this is a manifest reality, and anything that I'm thinking about in my mind and can picture coming into my home will arrive here. That we can just sit here and think about something and we can create it. So we need to really get back to our abilities, our power, some confidence in what we're doing here. This is an important time for humanity, or I wouldn't even be here talking. So I tell my husband, right? Everything that I am here for is ascension every single day, 24/7, right? Like, I feel that we have an urgency when it comes to time, and that we are in a very narrow window where we can make a big change through this work that we're doing. So everything in my being has been programmed for ascension. The universe just leads me along every day on my mission, and I do my work and whatever, but it's everything that I'm doing here. It's everything that I've been getting trained for my whole life too, whatever's occurring during this time. Good. Time to open everyone's minds. Our energy and intent is really powerful with these things too. It's hard to work on things you're not consciously aware of, though. So, you know, when you're asleep, you might not be aware you have a third eye. It's hard to work on things that you don't consciously know exist. That's why they try to keep these things hidden. We see a lot of fear with the third eye. Fuck, I saw it in a spiritual group. They were having a whole 500 comment conversation about, don't you think this stuff is evil, the stuff I talk about, and that is to trap humanity. They say the third eye must be bad and evil because it's on the dollar bill and some of the things that occur. You know, a lot of the dark try to operate under the guise of light a lot of the time, like with the Masons and things like that. We're going through some serious upgrades this month. I'm ready for this next storm. I was going to take today off, but my friends made me come live. So I was going to take today off because I didn't want to be a day off from the storm. I'm like, you know, I can feel it with my body. So if I'm going to best describe these energies, you know, something is happening to the core of the earth where it's crystallizing, just like we're turning to crystal. So is the earth. All that, I guess, metal in the core of the earth is crystallizing. And it's going to have a serious effect on the planet, just like we're turning from carbon to crystal. We have this blueprint of life. When I was going to college, they would teach you that all life is made of carbon. It is the blueprint of life, right? When they go to other planets to explore, they're looking for signs of carbon, for signs of life. That was the old. We're evolving as a planet right now, the planet and us, and we're turning from carbon to crystalline, which is a much different component. I can only describe the energy we're in as a pressure cooker. That's why I'm all for this idea of a pole shift right now. It's like a pressure cooker energetically. Things are happening with the metals on this planet. You can look at it like alchemy, right? Where, you know, the metals are changing components and properties because of the pressure and the heat on this planet. You can look at that pressure like the pressure in your everyday life you've been through. Alchemizing you throughout this process. So we see a lot of alchemy happening with these energies combining. I don't know enough about the sun, but I know that it's been ending a cycle too. Mike tells me, I love getting information from Mike, right? He tells me, yeah, I mentioned a pole shift. I sent him the article just to hear his thoughts on it. And he says, yeah, well, a lot of planets have had pole shifts. Let me go look at the list. There's a list of like 4 planets that have had pole shifts too, not just the Earth. So everyone acts like it's so insane and it's such a radical idea, but the other planets have been having pole shifts too. Detoxing heavy metals is very important. Metals weaken the soul. There's such a connection between the mind, the body, and the soul that I can sit here and think negative thoughts that I don't feel good all day long, and I'll make myself very sick fast, right? So there's a huge connection between the soul and metals. In ancient Egyptian times, metals were used for enslavement purposes of souls in magic. Like if you had a real, I don't know, genomic soul type problem, you could enslave that soul with mercury, right? And it was used like a containment program. Oh my God, flash forward, here we are. And all of humanity is getting infiltrated with metals. And that can affect us on a soul level. It weakens our soul, which kills our body. So, you know, these mercury was a component in magic too. We need to realize that metals, that there's a lot of like alchemy, ancient arts, right? Turning metal into gold and things like that. So mercury is a component in magic too. It has magic properties. All metals do. Just same with copper, right? Copper is really good for healing. So these metals have magic components too. It's always my concern with pharmaceuticals when I view them as these toxic components, like someone's trying to come off Prozac, which is straight fluoride, but I know for a fact they have magic mixed in with these, right? When they make their little batch of pharmaceuticals. Everything is magic here. Everything is energy. So is not energy magic? Energy and intent, right? So literally people are creating magic daily and not really understanding it. We have a huge message to be in the now right now. That we don't need an eclipse to help us with these shifts. I mean, it helps, right? If you know how to use it. We can be making these shifts simply by being more content in the now. That if we can change our perspective about toxic people around us, things we don't like, our dislikes, and shift and focus on what's going good, things we like, seeing the divine in people. I mean, everyone is pretty much God and just doesn't realize it around here, right? So we need to see the divine in people. If you can shift how you're viewing your situation now, be more content in the now, you know, you can really be in more energetic alignment with the timelines that you want to be on in the future. We also have a choice in all this. I'm sorry, I have a choice if I want to pole shift, and so do you. If you understand the natures of reality, we're going to pick our timelines around here, right? We're going to pick our timelines. So it's really important that you have a choice too in whatever timelines you're ending up on here. Free will is really big around here. You have more say in where you're ending up than you like to believe. So more positive thoughts about where you want to end up. Mushrooms. I'm reading the mushrooms. Well, I'm breathing metal. Despite everything I might do, detoxing, I'm probably showering in it, I'm probably getting it in my food in mild amounts, who knows, right? Aside from the metals, this planet is just really toxic. We have toxic air, toxic soil, toxicity, they call it. They say this planet has reached toxic levels, that's why everyone's sick right now. So this planet is just kind of toxic to live on. I'm going to be staying on the chlorella the remainder of my stay in this matrix. I was thinking about that this morning. It's something that, you know, I was given as a tool to help us with our ascension too. It was something that was used during Atlantean times when things might have been ending up similar. They hide our history because there's a familiarity in it. I'm reading the comments. I didn't get your message yet, the infinity message. I definitely saw. I've been having crazier dream experiences. I'm so funny. I'm like, I'm going to the astral like 8 p.m., right? It was like 8 p.m. I'm going to the astral. I had enough here. So I've learned so much of how the universe works through my dreams, through my dream experiences. I want to talk more about like out of body near death. Maybe we'll just do it right now, right? Astral experiences and things like that. I would just say that on my journey, I did not want to be here. There was a point in time where I just really didn't want to be here. I didn't understand. I just thought, you know, the world was torturing me or whatever. I had a lot of negative programming. I was probably drawing real crazy experiences to me while I was asleep. So I had this crazy car accident. But that would have been the first time that I died. And I remember it. Like I had it out. It was almost like having a dream experience because I was asleep when it happened. I didn't recall the actual accident. So I was almost floating in between dream experiences, and then I ended up having an out-of-body experience. And I was kind of coming in and out of layers of consciousness before I died. I remember I was squeezing the police officer's hand and I said, I'm gonna die. And then I had a really crazy out-of-body experience. I could see angels around me. I could see my mother was there. I could see a lot of like everything from above what was going on with me. It was something I remember real crazy. I had another death experience, maybe 7 months after that. Real crazy. I died for 7 minutes. It's a miracle I'm even here and they pieced me back together because I'm made out of a lot of titanium now, right? It's just beyond my grasp that I could even end up back here. I had a medium tell me that, you know, I have this mission and I'm meant to be here. There's nothing that I can do to change that at this point, right? So, but I died for like 7 minutes and what they were doing wasn't working with me. They literally pronounced me dead and were putting me in a body bag when I woke up on my own. It was insane to even experience. And before I woke up kicking and screaming while this was occurring, I had this real crazy experience where it was like, before I came back into my body, I rose up like through so many stories and then ended up back in my body. And after I had these experiences in my life, I wasn't able to, I came back much different, right? It was almost probably like I had a lot of DMT flood my brain. So I'm back at home, I'm supposed to be healing, right? And I started to have crazy sleep experiences, like that would concern my family. I was living with my family and I would like wake up the whole house having crazy sleep experiences. It did something to my dream state in having those death experiences. I had it explained to me that DMT is like a doorway for your soul, and that when you die, it helps your soul cross over. Well, with me, it's like the door got left open. And when I was at a low vibration, and going through the matrix on a lot of pharmaceuticals and trying to navigate all this stuff on my own, right? That wouldn't have been the best thing for me. Because you're at a low frequency. I'm like a radio receiver. I'm going to pick up what's around me, right? So it took me a while to grow into my abilities and my gifts and to get my frequency at a good place to handle my abilities and what kind of came with this. I know for a fact that's very important in my journey and what has made me into the girl I am now, a channel, right? A channel for the spiritual. So I have crazy dream experiences. I am all about, like when I do my attunements, I am all about meditating at the same time as people to learn how to connect to their energy. I am all about learning how to find people in the astral and to have crazy dream experiences. So sometimes I try to come find you guys and hang out with you guys. So, you know, as these veils are thinning with this time of year, this is the best time to be tuning into our sleep subconscious dream experiences until spring. We have a really amazing, you know, time where you can probably remember your dreams better and things like that. So I've definitely been using that space. I've had so many, as a kid, I remember having an astral experience and going out through like the hallway closet with like the towels in it, and I thought it was real. When I was a kid, I had this crazy astral experience, and I remember, you know, in this realm, always going to that closet, like it must have been like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in some kind of porthole, right? I was trying to figure out how to work it awake. And so I remember when I was a kid, I would have a lot of crazy dream experiences too, and things like that. Flash forward, here I am, right? I have had so many out-of-body experiences, so many prophetic dreams, things that I see and then occur. So many, when I was opening my third eye, out-of-body lucid dream experiences that like I saw like everything we're talking about now up close and personal through out-of-body experiences, and it really helped shape a lot of, you know, the spiritual that I know about, these sleep experiences. We're practicing with our abilities in our dreams right now. Yeah, we're practicing connecting. We're practicing using abilities that haven't even become transparent here yet because the frequencies are still at this place. Your dreams are very important. I'm trying to connect more to my subconscious. I'm getting ready earlier, right? And I'm like, hi, subconscious mind. I'm very interested in you since you project my entire reality and everyone else's, right? Hi, I'm very interested in making friends with you. So your subconscious is always communicating with you through the synchronicities we see here, the things that we see here occurring. Now when people have something random happen, like my mother-in-law had her house flood or something, I go to Google and I look up the dream meaning. Yes, we're awake. Why would I do that? I look up the dream meaning for a car accident or whatever people are going through, because you can kind of take that and apply it here too. This is a dream, right? Your subconscious is always communicating with you through the things you're experiencing, the things you're seeing, the synchronicities everywhere, the number codes. Well, I looked up, is your subconscious God, for fun? We only have one subconscious. Well, the answer I got back from this really awesome Indian kind of guru person was no, God would be the universe, everything, right? Your subconscious is kind of limited. It will be everything around here. But I mean, you could look at it like that. I kind of look at it like that. Like if you're trying to tune into God, look into your subconscious, right? A medical intuitive, I definitely am. I had a lot of real medical training too. I would have joined the Illuminati. been prescribing pharmaceuticals. It was my path, right? I wanted to help people, though I didn't understand the matrix until now, clearly. So I had a lot of science, medical type training that probably a normal doctor would have, and then I continued on to Reiki and the holistic from there. Julius, sure. We're gonna go to London. We found someone will probably go smoke. Me and Sherry will smoke and hang out with them. They don't smoke, I don't think, but we found someone to hang out with us on our craziness in London too. I keep putting posts out so people can come connect with me as I'm journeying through the unknown. So we're going to London this weekend. I'm doing my recharge, just talking eclipses, prophecies. Prophecies, I will tell you that it is predicted in the law of one that there will be some type of sorting of humanity based on your polarities, service to self, service to others. Real easy, right? I think we got polarized before the starseeds came on this planet anyway, but a lot of the 3D people are working on being polarized, right? Through their choices. It's not just one thing. Don't worry, you don't mess up one time and get polarized. It's, you know, kind of a overall of all your lessons where you're at, right? So a lot of people in 3D have crazy experiences. The universe is just trying to polarize you one way or the other. So we see in the Bible. They talk about all sorts of crazy stuff, right? All sorts of prophecies there. So this blood moon will fit Bible prophecies. People will love it, right? So we're living in a time of a lot of prophecies. I'm very interested in native prophecies. I feel that these are a lot of stories that got passed down from ancient times that still exist. And they really talk about a lot of the same things that we're into. I have a real good big interest in the red Kachina and the blue Kachina. I look at the blue Kachina as the ships above us, the starseeds coming back, returning, the galactic energies coming back on this planet. A lot of what they talk about with twin energies, people think of it like Gemini. I think of it more like the flame energy that we carry, that twin flame energy. Some people call it twin flames, that, you know, twin flame fire we carry. So a lot of people will be talking about the whole sky will be lit up with this eclipse. The moon's coming very close to the planet. We have solar energy, which has a masculine energy, and we have moon energy, which is feminine energy. This is going to bring up a lot of emotions for a lot of people, too. It'll be an emotional weekend for people, probably. Lots of releasing. It's really important you don't let that get in the way of your manifesting. If you're thinking about old experiences, you could recreate them. Oh my God. If you're thinking about past experiences you didn't like, you could be putting them into your subconscious and it could recreate them. So be careful if you guys are feeling like you're purging or feeling ascension symptoms. What's the point of polarizing? We come here and we learn as souls and grow. I don't know, it's very important whether our intentions are service to self right now or service to others. If you're following your ego, you're always just going to be running around and never happy or fulfilled. It'll always be like, okay, you did this, let's go buy the next thing, or whatever your ego is leading you to run around and do. You'll just be like a wind-up toy, just running around all the time, kind of doing the ego's bidding. It's important we're getting back to a soul space, and, you know, it doesn't mean being service to others that you have to go out and try to save and help everyone. It just means that you're living in alignment with what is best for everyone, what is best for the all. So we see like pharmaceuticals would be one way that a corporation is making money at the expense of humanity. That clearly is service to self, right? It's not helping people. So it's really important that we're just living in alignment with divine will at this time, and that is what is best for everyone, you know, so we need to make choices based on that. Any more questions? I scam people. Someone said they were scanning people. I have built-in galactic scanning, I say, and I really mean that. If someone comes near me and they have a blocked chakra or something wrong with them, I will be able to tell immediately. It will light my scanning up. I always say galactic scanning is the future of medicine too, and where we're headed. Technology for healing. It kind of reminds me of, I had to do my biometrics coming in this country. One of my biometrics. And when I was in their machine, it kind of reminds me of that. Clearly not with the same negative, you know, frequency kind of effect, but it's kind of similar to biometrics. So, we have a blood moon eclipse. This is 3 events in one. It is a super moon. It is a full moon. It is a blood moon, and it is an eclipse. So it's really powerful energy. You guys might not feel it till Friday. I need to cross my days off. I never even know what the date is, right? Hold on. Today is the 14th. Perfect. We have a lunar eclipse on Martin Luther King Day. Anything to bring about segregation and separation, right? Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Perfect. What day to bring up past ancestral traumas, right? So we have this eclipse on Monday. I'm not sure if it was going to be visible Monday morning or Tuesday morning because we're planning our event. Sherry would know better, right? But we got the stats. It is visible in the UK. We're going to see it really good in London. It is in that pathway, so I'm kind of excited about this one. So we're going to start to really feel this energy storm by Friday. We have the same things that have been occurring with the magnetic field of the Earth. And some people are really sensitive to geomagnetic energies. I am. I'm a person who's really sensitive to any kind of energies. So some people are going to be feeling this if they're really empathic or maybe really in tune with the Earth and things like that. It's really important. Yeah, I can feel it incoming. I can already feel the energy starting to move today to the point I had to get up and do a video even though I wasn't feeling like it. I'm on my recharge still. I will be back tomorrow. Perfect. We're going to have this moon in Leo. Believe it or not, it's going to bring a lot of ego to the surface too. A lot of people are going to be seeing a lot of their ego programming. Sounds like a mess in the 3D if you want to throw ego into the mess of whatever they have going on in the 3D. So people are like, oh my god, I feel that something is going to occur. Something huge is going to occur that is going to finally move us forward on our ascension path and is going to kind of get rid of any of the lower vibration experiences that are occurring here. Ears ringing, high-pitched noises. We're adjusting to new frequencies on every level, but we're having a lot of galactic energies that are being sent to us this week too. You know that this energy is going to really peak like Friday and Saturday and open up a gateway, a porthole that we can be using to land on better timelines. I've been doing a lot of unplugging and manifesting and putting out good vibrations for the things that I'm trying to do this year with this storm. Really think about what you want to get done this year, what you're trying to do, what kind of timelines you want to land on. You can see that just through being positive that you can change your entire reality and the things that you're drawing to you, nothing more. So it's really important that we're aligning with our highest timelines and the things that we can be creating. We still have way too much fear around here with what we're creating. We need to become a lot more consciously aware of the thoughts that we're putting out into that ether, that continuum out into the universe. Yeah, stuff is going on. I'm like, it's happening now. It's well underway. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going back to my news. Going back to my news and whatever. And I'm just like, all right. I think people are underprepared. What do I mean by underprepared? I think that if you're awake, then you're fine. I think that we're tuned into the same frequencies around here. And I think it's the things that are going to happen are going to mainly affect the lower vibration densities on every level. I feel that we're meant to be anchoring into these places that we're at. Wherever you're at, you're meant to be at. And we should be rebuilding our lives, rebuilding ourselves, rebuilding who we want to be. And we should be focused on rebuilding. I think that, yes, something may happen to change this reality and that people are just really comfortable in the states of separation and fear and anxiety and whatever, and that things are going to happen to awaken the people that are choosing to sleep. Things are going to happen and it might be kind of a shaking awake, right? So things are going to start to kind of amp up here with these energies hitting the planet. We know that if you're in low frequency energy, which welcome to our first half of our life, we were all in very low frequency energy, that it will actually break down and damage your DNA, right? Shut you down to 2 strands. So now the opposite is true. We're getting these huge influxes of high frequency energy, and it's been shown that it will heal your DNA, it will repair your DNA, it will activate your DNA, and that these energies have a huge impact, not just on our bodies, but on the earth too. We can't have things and incoming energies coming into the planet without it having a huge effect on the whole planet, the whole system. Leo husband, just say that. He's awesome all the time. I say with Leos, right? I love you. You're awesome. They just want to hear they're amazing all the time, Leo. Astrology jokes. I'm real good with astrology signs though. They just want a lot of attention. Anyone else want to talk astrology while I finish my coffee break before I go to work? Anyone else want to talk astrology signs? I want to put out like some fun astrology. Like, we can talk. Drop your astrology sign. I'll tell you something fun about your sign. I don't know. I think that the stars are like their own Akashic record around here. There's so much energy. Energy is information. So as we're raising our frequency and we can access more energies, it's coming with a lot of information, a lot of downloads. Like I said, this is a week for extraterrestrial downloading. It's amazing, right? Your third eyes just got upgraded. We will now be downloading. So we did go through a third eye upgrade with that last storm, and you guys are going to be downloading this week. Try to tune in. Libra. Brittany is a Libra, and she has going to have twice as many, maybe 3 times as many followers as me, because she's really, really nice and diplomatic to people. I'm like Aries ascending, and I'm like, just fuck off right now. Like, I'm busy. Like, just leave me alone. Just fuck off, right? I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. I don't care about your problem, right? So she's very diplomatic with people. If you are a Libra, you should be working with people. You're a people person, right? You can just kind of get along with all different groups of people. You're about balance, peace, love, and harmony. What could be better doing Ascension, right? We're trying to bring heaven to earth. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. For the people still living in fear, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to stay right here. So I'm not sure about the rest of everyone else on this planet. I don't know. But we're going to stay right here. We're going to build right here. Scorpio. All right. Scorpio, stay away from the material. It'll tend to pull you to it, right? We see everyone else doing the American dream, and they have, you know, their little template done with the house and the cars. Stay away from that. You're meant for bigger things. Guess what? I have Scorpio in my chart too as my Lilith. And that's your dark side, so it gives me a lot of depth. I probably went to like the depths as hell. Like some people just went into like a little bit of their own hell, right? Saw the corner of it. I went right into the depths of my own hell and conquered my darkness, and here I am, right? So I always say Scorpio have darker paths, more depth, right? More subconscious. So you're going to probably have had a harder path around here exploring those depths of yourself too as a Scorpio. But you're very, very tuned into other people's energy, what makes people tick. You can read people really good. You're going to be more sensitive if you're a Scorpio to these energy shifts, to these storms that are hitting the planet too, right? You're going to be more sensitive to the energies around you. Gemini. I know, I'll just play astrology while I finish. I have my moon in Gemini. It makes me very ungrounded. You're in your head too much if you're an air sign, especially if you're Aquarius or Gemini. So it's really important if you're an air sign that you work on your lower chakras and staying grounded, right? You have a lot of really good ideas. You're supposed to be a dreamer. So in a manifest reality, that's how we create the things that we're thinking about and daydreaming about. Gemini is beyond duality. It's what everyone else needs to accomplish here. The duality, right? You can see the both sides of people's situations. As a kid, I could always see everyone's side of a situation, whereas a lot of people in my family might not have been able to. I could always just see everyone's perspective, right? Some signs like Scorpio, maybe Taurus, could be more tuned in sexually too with that Kundalini energy, right? Since you're feeling energy crazy. Those are probably signs that connect very deeply sexually. More astrology. I'm trying to read the comments. Facebook's awful. We are a mix of 12 elements though. People look at your sun sign, right? That's just part of your personality, probably your ego personality too. It's the least area of interest in astrology to me. I don't know, I came here with some kind of astrological understanding. The stars pull me, they interest me, they fascinate me, right? But I always knew, according to the Bible too, that everything is written in the stars. Your destiny, your past, your future, it's like an akashic of sorts. So I've always been really drawn. You're a mix of many elements. The ones that are going to influence you the most that I look at are your sun sign, your moon sign, your Venus sign, and I look at your nodes and your Lilith too, because I look at your Lilith as your dark side, right? Your Venus is your love life, your moon is your life path, and your poles would represent, you know, your soul path and your past lives and what you're doing here. So those are the areas that interest me the most. You're a mix of all those. I always say, if you look at me and my husband's astrology, I said from day one, we're an awful mix. No, we're an awful mix. When I'm already here. No, we're an awful mix. It's just probably not long-term compatible, right? So, you know, but if you look at the rest of our chart, you can see where we're made of the same elements. And probably you couldn't have a better match. So I've always known that I could assess the relationships around me by astrological signs. You can tell the people that are coming into your life. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be your friends, your family, your kids, the people around you. You can tell if these are karmic experiences or these are soulmate experiences a lot of the time by astrology. When you see that opposite element, narcissist, empath, fire, water, right? We see a lot of that opposite element, then you guys are energetic balancing. You guys have to do some balancing with each other, some soul growth, so that, you know, you can move forward on your path. But it's really good to be able to tell what these, you know, the relationships of the people are around you. I was always doing that even asleep, looking at everyone's astrology like I do now. I can understand people better from an astrological sense. You can tell me your sign. It's the only thing I ask when I do readings is I start with, hi, what's your sign? It's the first thing we do ever. When we were going to go meet this kid in London to hang out with, I said, what's his astrology? We'll have to assess with his astrology. And we got his date of birth, right? It's how I assess anything in my life. I go back to the stars time and time again. So it's a really good way for me to read people. Because, you know, we do have certain characteristics. Let's just put it this way. When you were born here, you picked your birthday. You picked when you would incarnate in here and everything to do with your experience, even though we don't feel that way here, but you did. And when you were born, you got imprinted by that energy that was occurring astrologically. That's why I'm kind of a crazy mix of stars, right? So we would pick our birthday, we would enter this world, and you would have been imprinted on a soul level by what was occurring astrologically when you were born. So it really is a good way to archetype people, you know, categorize people, but people do tend to have those same traits and things that they're working on for each sign. Makes your life difficult. Actually, Tauruses are really chill. If you can just have them in a chill environment, right? Taurus just needs a real peaceful, calm, you know, lots of personal space too. That's like a lot of other signs. Cancers are like that too. I know that sometimes you need personal space to recharge. Cancer, Taurus, right? I need a lot of Capricorn, I need a lot of personal space to recharge. I need my own little environment here. If I have like roommates or live with people, it can be too crazy for me. I'll be in my room the whole time, right? I'll be in my room the whole time. It can be too crazy for me. I need to have my energy a certain way. And I'm very responsive to my environment, right? I always say Taurus is easy. We're into the senses, taste, touch, smell. So Tauruses are really good into food. If you want to improve your relationship with a Taurus, give them really good high vibe food or invite them out to eat. It will fix things fast. You can easily bribe Taurus with good food. So if you're trying to improve your relationship with a Taurus, they're pretty simple. They just need a chill environment, zero drama, right? Capricorn, Sun, Sherry, Taurus, Moon. You have a lot of the same elements as me in my chart too. I don't have Capricorn, but I'm an Earth sign. So you know what? We're really connected to the Earth. So we're going to be more sensitive to feeling the Earth. Whatever element you're connected to, you're probably going to feel it real crazy, right? So we're connected to the Earth, and this Earth is kind of transforming fast. I couldn't begin to tell you the amount of times since I've been on this island that I have felt a deep pain in my heart chakra that was not my own, was coming from the Earth, with what the Earth is going through, purging its heart chakra out and everything it's going through, transforming just like we are. Taurus is all about their house. You even have a little bit of it, but it's one of those main categories, like your sun sign, your moon, your Venus, right? Those are going to be powerful influencers in your reality. I am about the material. I'm a Taurus. I can easily manifest material objects to me. That bores me. If you're a Taurus, you know the material is not, it's not reality. It comes and goes, right? It's not something that we can have and make tangible. It's just something kind of ever fading. I'm more interested in the spiritual dimensions around me and less in the physical and the material, but I do have good building skills. If you're an earth sign, you are a builder, a creator, a manifester. We all have different roles here. If you think about the earth, its energy is infinite abundance, right? It feeds us, gives us everything we need. It's supposed to, right? So, you know, nature frequencies are powerful for healing too. Heart chakra cleared. Yo, the earth's been doing a lot of that lately this year. Yep. So if you're connected deeply to things, like you should be once you wake up, you should become more sensitive to the earth and other people's pain and the things happening around you. You know, we're going to feel these things as they're happening with the earth. You can always look at the earth and see what's going on with us, with our human bodies. Oh my God, they say that the California fires are biblical proportions now in the mainstream news. I saw headlines that were calling them biblical. So we see that there's a lot of things going on with the root chakra and the heart chakra. We see that reflective in the news too. If you see, you know, there's a lot of political stuff occurring in America and the UK. A lot of that political noise comes from these areas too. Your son lives overseas. Goals, right? Tell them off in the astral, right? Save a plane ticket and go find these people in the astral. Once I became lucid, I went to find someone I had a real bad experience with, but they didn't seem to care in the astral when I said sorry. They didn't seem to even care. But I was practicing with my lucid dreaming abilities. You know what? If you guys want to have a dream experience, like I said, we're supposed to be the boss of our subconscious, but sometimes it's the opposite way around when we're asleep and letting our subconscious create with our ego in control. That always goes great, right? So we're supposed to be actually be the boss of our subconscious. A really good dream hack is if you want to see someone in your dream experience, or if you want to know something or have a question, put out before you go to sleep. Just, you know, put it out to the universe that you want to have a dream experience and go find that person, or, you know, you want to, I don't know, have this question answered or see this or whatever it is, or you want to astral travel. Put that out right before you go to sleep and it will happen. So I've been practicing finding people in the realm. Dale, my entire body is fucked. I want to ask people questions like, can you please let me know if your head starts growing? I have weird things happening with my spine back here now. I'm gonna sound so bizarre to certain people that are like not on the same conscious awareness level as me. I'm well aware of that. The human body is physically changing, though. We can see that with the kids being born, they're being born in that upgraded version already. And the rib cage is moving to cover organs. We can see the human skull is changing in size and shape. The areas of the brain active, the whole nervous system, including the spinal column, spinal cord, and, you know, anything connecting to that, like the nervous system, is really being changed and upgraded. Yes, sort it out in the astral. Just ask before you go to sleep that you want to talk to these people, see these people. It will work crazy. Ask to remember it too. I make sure I say that. Can I please remember this too? But these are things that work. Me and my husband agreed last night to go find each other in the astral before we went to sleep, right? I got him on board with it. And I went and tried to go find him in the astral. I'm pretty sure it worked good too. I did wake up and remember, but I can't really remember now. So it's a good way to sort out things with people you don't want to talk to ever again too. So if you feel that you haven't come to closure with a situation, like I had something like that happen with some of my family members where I refused to talk to them in this reality, and I had astral encounters, which from my perspective were probably just to make sure any of that karma was cleared or whatever. It can be better to deal with people in the astral. There's no ego there. There's no illusion there. I've never had a dream experience where I'm watching TV in the astral too. Let me just put it that way. A lot of people are like watching TV here. Those are things you're not doing in the astral, you'll notice, right? There's no ego there. So it's like the core of who you are, your light body, your soul, right? Just your soul. All that ego is just kind of an earth thing. So if you've ever had an experience and you've had conflict with someone here and you have a dream experience, clearing it up, it won't even be like that. Like they probably won't care much. It probably won't care much. It will be a completely different dynamic. So I do recommend clearing up anything that you're holding on to in the astral for sure. You spend just as much time in the astral as you do here almost. If you calculate how much time you've spent sleeping in your lifetime, it's insane. It's like an amount of years. It's like a 30-year life. These are real places. These are the other dimensions. When I had a death experience, it was very similar to an out-of-body or astral experience. You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. That's why people have a lot of dream encounters with loved ones when they pass, right? It will be the same kind of experience, and people are fast to discount those as must be a dream, me missing that person, and not real messages that are coming through from those souls that are able to find you when you go to sleep. You know, so the ones that have crossed over can find you anytime in the astral. You can find them too, and believe me, your soul does. It's just we're not remembering a lot of the things that occur in these places. Yeah, try to sleep until Friday too. I'm resting up. Like, I'm still doing videos right now, but I'm in like recharge mode. I have a couple readings to do, and those people are gonna have to wait till tomorrow. I already assessed the energy this weekend and was like, by the way, I'm probably taking Monday off too, so that I can really be in alignment with this energy flow. So I always say it takes me 3 days to create a flow, and that's where the universe is at tomorrow, starting this energy flow that will lead up to this gateway. So I'll want to flow and move with it. I said if I work today, it'll put me a day off schedule with the storm. So I'll be creating my flow starting tomorrow too, and I'll peak at the same time as the universe, which I love. So try to rest more until like Friday. You might not feel the energies until Friday, hopefully. But, you know, you might feel them now. I can kind of feel them now. It's starting to move again on this planet. Things are going to move rapidly with this eclipse. It's pushing us into higher frequencies, moving us, shifting us, upgrading us, activating us, and moving us onto new timelines. We're going to be having a much different chat when we're entering February than where we're at right now. This eclipse is an energetic reset, so I just did an energetic reset of my own, so the eclipse doesn't have to force me to do one. I did one of my own this weekend. I'm just kind of coming back from it, right? So I did my own energy reset and kind of chilled this weekend and tried to take the weekend off. You know how that goes. But I did chill a lot, and I was trying to do my own energy reset, and I'm just kind of coming back from it. This will create a huge energetic reset with the whole planet. It will affect the planet in crazy ways. It'll affect our energy in crazy ways. It's so funny when I do try to go to Google to maybe get more information on the things I'm downloading on, right? And they're like, I'm sorry, the moon does not affect anyone. The moon does not, scientifically, this is their version of reality, the moon does not affect anyone, but you can look at prison statistics, jail arrests, and babies being born. You can see that when these moon comes, they put the emergency rooms through the roof, the jails through the roof, erratic behavior. They have serious, not only physical effects, because we're made of water, but they have psychological effects that come with them too, and the things that they bring out with humanity. I'm reading this. Yep, we're going to have a couple babies be born with people I see pregnant around our movements, too. I see a couple of people around us that are waiting to have babies be born kind of overdue, too. And I'm like, don't worry, you guys will be having those kids by the time we go to London, right? We're made of mostly water. We see what the moon does to the oceans, right? Same kind of science. Let's see. Yeah, ebb and flow, right? Just flow with it. People do go nuts over the full moon. I love it. I watch it every storm. No different than the last one, right? So we get to throw an eclipse in there too. So eclipse energy is powerful on top of the full moon. Just the full moon alone makes everyone go crazy. You can look at crazy statistics with crimes that occur and crazy stuff that happens. It's like the whole world starts to come ungrounded. Okay, someone says that they had to cut off someone last night. Listen, cut off the people that are one-sided energy exchanges. As a healer, oftentimes people come to us and expect us to do everything for them, right? With nothing in return. So we put a lot of energy into people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It depends where people are at, right? Try to really make sure you're being in control of the energy you're allowing into your reality. I'm trying to create like almost like a Buddhist temple kind of vibe here, a place of peace. So I'm real weird about who I allow into my space, in my reality, on whatever level. I'm feeling a need to pull back too. You can see I'm commenting less. I'm still here, but I'm commenting less. I've been off of Facebook more and kind of unplugged until I start to do this storm. I'm also going to London too, so we're trying to recharge real crazy as usual. We were just in recharge mode for our trip this weekend. My trip is long. I'm like looking at the map. I'm like, I don't know the island that good, right? I'm like, can you show me where Stonehenge is? And then I'm looking at London, right? But it's longer. I want to say it's almost 7 hours by train. I'm going across the island to the northern area, which will be real different because everyone talks different. Like in the UK too, they have a lot of different dialects on this island. So I'm real used to how Sherry talks because my husband's from the same area as her. It'll be a trip to get out into the world and hear the accents too. Next Monday we'll be in London. I gotta get my ticket as usual. This is like my mid-meeting too every day, right? I need to get my ticket too. I'll get it last minute. I'll probably get it like, I'll start panicking like Wednesday or Thursday and get it. What am I drinking? Water with some kind of a little bit of like apple juice flavoring or something from downstairs. Water, lots of it. I've been needing to skip the coffee more and drink a ton of water with this energy. I'm reading the comments. Alright, so tomorrow, well, I'm going to get off here and do my real feed, but tomorrow I'm going to do a grounding video. I was like, I probably need to try to get outside to do that too, right? And do a good grounding space. But that's something I had a lot of practice with when I was in California. I was there for no other reason except to ground, connect to the earth on those frequencies, and to kind of get that experience before I came here, because this energy is very ungrounding here in the UK. So I needed to be real grounded. We all can see that's not going so great, but it's actually one of my favorite chakras because it's one I had a lot of problems with. I had a lot of fear programming, and I just feel a lot of humanity does. And that even though our chakras should be all open and cool right now, that a lot of light workers have issues with their root chakra and things like that. Fear is always going to be the one thing holding us back from whatever greatness we're intended from. It's really a way that we self-sabotage. So I'll be doing grounding. If you guys are not in that class space, because when I try to share videos from these areas, it just says attachment unavailable. Like I try to put them on my page and it doesn't work. So if you guys are not in our Awakening to Ascension group class on here, make sure you send an invite because I'll be live there tomorrow. We will be doing grounding. I did a really good meditation with Gabrielle, which is hard to do because we're on different time zones. And he did an amazing job going through the chakras. I want to do something similar, probably after London, like next week, where I want to do a live on my real channel, some type of guided meditation. I did one, it was like the last big lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse, solar eclipse that we had. I did a live guided meditation and it actually went really good and people loved it. So I'm going to try to do more like guided meditation cleansings on my regular video too, so we can share it out. Yeah, you can see the weather is how it is. London's eye-opener, very low vibe. Not with us there. Don't worry, we'll go light up that grid. I don't think it's being lit up very good. Exactly, right? Lots of low vibe energy there and things occurring with the ley line areas there that aren't so great. You know, a lot of the areas that have been hijacked energetically would be in America, the UK in certain areas. So we're really excited to check it out. Like, I can't wait. It's okay, we'll be outside in the moon energy lit up. We'll be bringing our own frequencies. That's why it's really important that we're not absorbing the frequencies of our environment and the people around us, right? Because if you're doing that, if you're going down to other people's frequencies, if you're just kind of absorbing the frequencies around you, it's probably going to put you on a lower frequency. It's really important that we have mastered vibrating on our own frequencies and not letting our environment phase us and the things that could be bringing down our frequency, kind of learning how to stay stable in that. The London Eye, I think it's like a ride. Like it takes like 30 minutes. And you can go up and ride it. It's closed. Imagine that, right? It's closed most of January for some type of, I don't even know. They do like a yearly fix it. We wanted to go on check out the Eye. It looks like a porthole. I picture like a Ferris wheel, like a Ferris wheel, like fair ride for kids. I picture it like that, but I picture like the people like riding it, like the tourists, and then I picture that like the men in black on there using it as a porthole. Like you could just have someone like sitting next to you, like in their government suit, and they just kind of teleport out of here and time travel using it, right? That's how I picture the Eye. It is closed. We can't go explore the Eye. We tried. Everything we want to see is closed for access, right, around here in the UK. Sorry, it's closed. Convenient. I was just wondering why they had that big porthole in the middle of their city. Hi Francisco, I'm getting off of here now to do a real feed, but I'm sending out crazy love, sending out love and Reiki vibes around here. I forgot to say this too, I'll say it on my other video. I'm manifesting Reiki students, so if you guys have not been Reiki attuned, for sure, come find me. So we're talking blood moon prophecies, Francisco, in case you missed it. Blood moon prophecies, pole shifts, because we have the Earth's magnetosphere excited, like over the top, for like over a week from the last eclipse, and we're getting ready for another one. So it's exciting that we can talk about crazy earth changes again, because this eclipse is going to have a serious impact on the earth and our energy, and I'm really excited because we can use it to really, you know, raise our frequency and raise the frequencies of the planet. What happens if the planet just is going up in frequency? Well, the experiences occurring here that are at a low vibration frequency won't be vibrating in harmony with the earth anymore. So the earth is shedding these experiences, getting rid of them slowly, and we're gonna really see a lot of transformation with the earth and our ascension this year. You guys know I keep on saying it, that we're supposed to be in 5D permanently, anchored into those frequencies as a collective planet by 2020, entering it. So we're kind of, you know, at the last phase of our purification cycle that we're going to do this year, which is going to be a lot of purging, healing, releasing, but also a lot of learning how to manifest and to create something better in the same place. We're trying to get rid of fear too. I see a lot of fear when I put pole shift stuff up. And I'm wondering if that's why maybe the universe had me talking about it a couple years ago. Now I'm back to it, right? Maybe there was too much fear back then when I was talking about it. Maybe we can reassess and talk about this stuff without having fear, and seeing that the universe is only sending us experiences that are serving us and good for our ascension now. So a lot of people have this doomsday Armageddon programming and they get scared, and you really have to let go of that. It's very dangerous in the matrix to have fear. More releasing. If you're having a lot of fear, you need to work on your root chakra. Same with anxiety. So we'll do that tomorrow. It'll be really good for grounding. I might do some kind of meditation with it. I'm not really sure yet, and I'm letting you guys go.